Hey guys, so as you know, earlier in the week I did a kind of pre-recorded DJ set that I put together on Ableton Live. If you haven't seen it yet, go and check it out up here, okay? And in this week's video, I wanted to kind of run you through some of the things that I was able to do on Ableton Live that would have been a lot more difficult to do on DJ decks. Okay, let's get straight into it. Boof. Okay guys, so let's just get straight into it. So, as you can see, here is the entire DJ set with all the different songs, and it runs for about 10 minutes. Now, there's lots of things which I've done here which are completely possible on DJ decks, and I'm thinking what I might do is actually recreate this on DJ decks to show you guys how I would do a lot of this on DJ decks. But I wanted to show you some of the things I've done. So, first things first, it's really good for just chopping up vocals and being really precise with it. So for example, the bit at the beginning where I bring in Sweet Nothing sounds a little bit like this. And just before the song kind of drops in, I just chop it up so it sounds like this. And then towards the end of that, I kind of put in a bit of a rhythm to it as well, which sounds like this. And what some of you will also notice is it also pitches up at the same time. So as you can see here, if I go on to clip and go to transpose, you can see it transposes up. In other words, it kind of pitches up. Now, of course, that is possible to do on DJ decks where you're hitting the Q button and you can pitch it up at the same time. But it's very difficult, especially when I'm in the middle of doing a drop swap. So we're going from this Showtech song down to Brave, which is a Don Diablo VIP remix. So in order to do this on DJ decks, you'd have to be filtering out this track, filtering in this track, and doing a rhythm on the hot cue with the vocals and pitching up at the same time. It's almost impossible to do that, guys. You'd need like 4 sets of hands. It's ridiculous. So there's little things like that mean you can be a lot more creative on Ableton. And you know, the other thing about it that's great is if you loved that, you're like, well, I love the way it does this, you could just get this track here, which is the Showtech song and the Sweet Nothings, and just print it as one track. So you don't have to be doing all that extra stuff. You can just worry about doing a drop swap with the song Brave. So you just print this. Anyway, you get the idea. Next thing which I did, which is, I don't know how to do this on DJ decks, maybe there is a way. I did a lead in to the vocal. So rather than just bringing in the vocals like out of nowhere, I created this kind of reverb sound that leads into the vocals. It sounds like this. Oh, let me just unsolo that. Here we go. That's used quite a lot in dance music. Essentially, I'm not going to bother running you through it, but what I essentially did was I took the first little sound, this one here, put loads of reverb on it, so it's like, goo. And then I got that sound and I reversed it. So let me just get the song and reverse it a second. So reverse. So the sound with loads of reverb on it sounded like this. Okay. Then I reversed it. And it gives you this amazing lead into the vocals. Okay, so there's another thing, which is amazing. You can do on music production software. I would have no idea how to do that on DJ decks, okay? The next thing which I did is you'll notice that I layered a lot of vocals on top of other tracks and created like mashups. Now the amazing thing, which again, I don't think it's possible to do this on DJ decks, is I added what's called a sidechain to the vocals. A sidechain basically means every time the kick hits, the dum, 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 every time the kick of the song hits, I get the vocals and I turn the volume down just for the kick and turn the volume back up again. So I'm just going to go onto this Sweet Nothings a cappella here. And I'm just going to open up the sidechain here. So what this is doing is it's basically automating the volume to dip every time the kick happens. This is what it sounds like without it. Now, this is what it sounds with it. Okay, now the beauty of this is it really glues the vocal to the song, because the song's kicking, boom, boom, and the vocals are breathing in and out. This is a music production technique. I don't know how to do it on DJ decks. I don't think it is possible. And what happens is it just really glues it. Now, you're going to kind of have to listen out to this because there's a lot going on, but I'm going to play it with and without. So I'm going to get these two tracks. I'm going to play it without the sidechain. This is with it. And now I'm going to play it on and off so you can kind of listen out for it, okay? And what you've got is the lyrics or the a cappella kind of grooving in and out with the kicks. It's okay? It's really cool. It's a cool little effect, and it really glues the vocals together. I use it again later on down here. There's a really cool like little mashup which I did, which I absolutely love. It's the Calvin Harris How Deep Is Your Love with Avicii Super Love. Sounds like this. Let me just get them both. I want you to breathe me. Again, I had that little vocal entrance to it, so you can hear, if I just solo it, you can hear it here. I want you to breathe me. Okay, and the other thing which I've got on again is another sidechain. This is without it. In fact, I'm going to turn it all the way up to emphasize it, okay? And I'm going to turn it off to start. Let's just play it by itself so you can hear. I want you to breathe me. This is with it. I want you to breathe me. It actually only kicks in here because this is where the kick comes in. If you listen to the track, the kick doesn't start till this point here, okay? I want you to breathe me. So I've automated the sidechain to just turn on as the kick comes in. So I'm going to play this vocal here instead. This is without the sidechain. Let me just solo it. Let me be your air. This is with. Let me be your air. You can hear it kind of dip. So it's really cool. It's a cool little thing. And again, with music production software, if you've got a sidechain going, you can turn it on or off and you automate it to happen automatically, which is really cool, and it really glues the two tracks together. Now, the next thing which I did is I did a lot of pitching down in vocals. So, for example, halfway through this drop here, this Moneymaker drop, I automated a bit of the vocal from the Calvin Harris a cappella to come in. This is what it sounds like. You hear it come in there? It sounded like this by itself. And I've pitched it down. It's really popular in dance music to pitch vocals down. So if I grab it and double click on the clip, you can see I've transposed it down a full octave. So it's still in key, it's just one octave down. If that's gobbledygook to you because you don't know music theory and stuff like that, basically it just means that it's still in the same key, it's just lower. Okay, cool. So if I remove that, it sounds like this. How deep is your love? But put it back on. How deep is your love? And because I'm on music production software, I could be really like detailed in how much I reduced the volume of the song that was currently playing to allow this to play on top of it. Again, something else, you can't really do that on DJ decks that easily. Awesome, absolutely insane. And I did it again down here. There's another Calvin Harris vocal, and at the end, the kind of like little glitchy vocal before the drop, I created myself, sounded like this. Okay, so what I did was, if I just get this section here, let's solo it. This is the a cappella. Now, the end of that a cappella normally sounds like this. Okay, and what I did was I changed it so it sounded like this. Okay, same thing again. I just pitched it down. And it meant I could be really like surgical with getting rid of the other tracks that I didn't need. Because you guys, you know how I feel about like that little glitchy vocal before the drop where it usually says something or there's a drum roll and then the drop hits. I hate it when two of those are playing on top of each other. So what I could do is I could just remove all the rest of it. So guys, there's a couple of things there which, as far as I'm concerned, are almost impossible to do on DJ decks, although I'm going to give it a go in next week's video. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. But the other thing that's just awesome about it is, you know, you can grab a song and you can easily just fade the volume in really quickly and easily like this, just dragging the volume in and out like that. I can also be really surgical with my EQ. You know, on DJ decks where you've got the highs, mids and lows? Well, with music production software, you can get an EQ that looks like this. And these are the lows, these are the mids, these are the highs. You can get different things like this and boost one little area. You can make it wider if you want, so you can boost the highs, boost the mids, boost the lows. You can be really, really like surgical. And it means when it comes to actually automating the EQ so the songs blend really nicely, you can do really cool stuff like this. Just check out this EQ doing its own thing as this song is brought in here, okay? You see, rather than like bringing the highs in and the mids in and the lows in, you can literally sweep them in. Really cool stuff. So there we go, guys. The rest of it is pretty much, you know, the basic stuff, beat matching, you know, automating volume to come in and go out, and, you know, using a couple of cool remixes and stuff. And that's pretty much it. The rest of it is pretty much straightforward stuff that you could do on DJ set deck, so I'm not going to waste too much time going into that. But guys, I hope this video was insightful, and I hope you're kind of seeing a couple of cool things like, whoa, that would be so awesome if I could go in and I could get the acapella and, you know, I could pitch it up, I could pitch it down, I could repeat it, I could stamp it into another song and then add that song in. Gives you a lot more variation. Do you ever feel like you're DJing and you're like, oh, if only I had another set of hands? Music production gives you another set of hands, so to speak, because you can do stuff, print it, that cool thing is going on there while you're doing something else on the DJ decks. Just gives you a lot of variety. And of course, as we know, a lot of DJs just create full DJ sets. They just pre-record them. This is how you would do it. So I'm not advocating this, but if you wanted, you could pre-record an entire DJ set using music production software. A couple of other cool things I did as well is like getting the second drop of a song and adding it in, because it's so much more. I often find like the second drop of a song has got a lot more energy than the first. So there we go, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it's opened up your eyes. And guys, keep your eyes on this channel, because as I mentioned in the last video, I'm going to be releasing an online music school for people who want to make their own dance music. Even if you've never done it before in your life, or if you're in the first couple of years and you want to perfect it, I'm going to be releasing an online music school in the next month or so that's going to teach you everything you need to know to make music exactly like this from scratch. So keep your eye on the channel, make sure you subscribe for that, make sure you leave a comment, let me know what you thought about this video, and make sure you like the video if you liked it. I'll see you guys next week for another tutorial on music stuff, okay? See you guys soon. Bye.